Necrodancers have elected to take us to Infernal Shrines for potentially the last game of the evening. Interessante to say the very least. This is a very neutral battleground. You and I were talking about how Dragonshire is one of those maps where the macro play, the rotations, the higher level strategy has to be there. Not necessarily so for Infernal Shrines. So if Trademark Gaming is going to be able to show a stronger performance, maybe playing a more simple map could be the avenue to do that. But Necrodancers wanted this map. So first pick and an easier map. It could work out for Trademark.
It was Wrongwork, which is the team that's going to be going up against next if they win. That is the team that got first next week. And then Team Numerics actually got fourth, and they were the team that were knocked out earlier on.
Jumped into the lobby.
This is definitely a team to watch in terms of the fact that they seem to level up week to week, and they're improving.
The narrative starts to fold together. You start to see those plot threads. Very interesting progression of events. Got everybody in the lobby, everybody on the same side. We're ready. I'm ready. I want to see how this plays out because I think what we saw was a very decisive game, number one. We saw some high-level mechanical play out of Necrodancers, and it really puts the onus on Trademark Gaming to show whether or not they're up to the challenge to respond to that. I think if they go for an easier composition, I think if they ban Tracer, they could fare better. But if they are going to let Tracer through, especially on this battleground, consider the Sergeant Hammer, please.
I really think as we see more of it in HGC, more teams will be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. She's good against specific things. And it's not that she's just good. Hard Sergeant Hammer does have significant counters, and some of them are even meta counters. But you can tell by the shape of the draft if the enemy team can pick any of them, right? Because if they've already picked their tank, if they've already picked their damage, they don't have enough flex left in the draft to pick the counters. And then you already have Tracer, and it's just there's certain situations in HOTS where you can have a draft win. If you're paying really close attention, you understand how drafting works and what the roles are and how they have to be filled and what heroes are capable of filling them in a given situation. The best example of this is like old school Cassia.
Yeah, that's fair. But this isn't how I thought this draft would really start out. The first ban is on Uriel, which to me, and then you take Blaze, so you go for a solo laner, which says to me, the person playing that either just hasn't put a lot of time into Uriel, or I don't know. I'm just surprised to see the first ban. You don't ban out the Tracer. Genji gets banned. You pick up Blaze first. So you'll have the response of the bunker in team fights. You'll have the wave clear. You'll have the sustain, jet propulsion, the chain CC. I see why you take Blaze in general, but in the current meta, I don't know if he's first pick worthy.
So one of the things, it's not enough to be like, oh, this hero's strong, we can pick it. Even if you have someone who's practiced the hero a lot, sometimes you have situations where you don't know how to draft the hero. For instance, Tracer was bad. Start of this year, Tracer was like, everyone was like, Tracer's like pickable, I guess, in some situations, but she's pretty easy to counter. And then people figured out that Malf plus Tracer was god tier. Dignitas was the team that sort of paved the way, and everyone saw what Dignitas was doing with Malf Tracer, and everyone was like, I want to do that. That's how we want to draft. So it wasn't that Tracer was bad. It's that Tracer needed specific things in the draft to function, and people hadn't figured out what those things were yet. And so maybe Uriel is really good, but maybe you as a team haven't figured out how to draft with her yet. You haven't figured out comps that you like, even if you have a competent Uriel player. So like, we're going to ban her. We're going to make our life easy for them. I like that ban. That's the right ban, by the way. If anyone had any doubts about what the right ban was, that's the right ban.
Like that ban. I love that ban. You're going to take pretty much Blaze, Malfurion, and Tracer. Didn't Blaze show up for Necrodancers last game?
It did indeed.
So they're just taking their comp and they're going to ban Sergeant Hammer. You can't beat them, join them, I guess. Curious. I like it. If I'm Necrodancers, I'm like, okay, guys, y'all are being real cute right now. We know what that comp does. They have Decker Kane, they have Johanna, really strong warrior in the current meta and grand scheme of things. It's gonna help you out over the objective phase. You're gonna have a lot of roots off of Decker Kane, a lot of synergy, a lot of opportunity for Wombo. Greymane and Sonya, they can definitely help you take someone down once they get isolated by a root.
They are going to run it down. Looks like the mainstream has ended. Welcome everyone to the HeroesHype stream. This is going to be the last set on this channel, Necrodancers versus Trademark Gaming. We're heading into game 2 with Necrodancers up 1-0 currently, and they're going to get Task, Tracer, Malfurion, Blaze, ETC, which is an amazingly strong comp on this map in particular. I actually like that Sonya pick, or not the Sonya. I like the Taskar pick because it takes it away from the other team. They could have gone Sonya, Tassadar, and Tassadar Greymane. They have a lot of synergy there. It also helps even more with the shrine control and with the wave clear. But by taking it away, they make Tracer even stronger. And can they win the shrine against this comp is the question. They both have a lot of shrine control tools, but Tracer's going to continue to scale into the late game.
There are, Cav, fewer ways to further hoist a player onto your shoulders as the rest of the team than taking Malfurion and Tassadar to support Tracer. Like, Tracer has to go off. If Tracer doesn't have a banner game, this could look like a pretty rough progression. Damavarian, he checks to the left. He checks to the right. He's like, oh, I can take Medivh? Thanks, guys. You forgot I play Medivh. Wow.
And Medivh is not as good a counter to Tracer as when Force of Will was a 5-second cooldown. Now it is an 8-second cooldown. You can get it back down to 3 if you absorb enough damage with Enduring Will at 13. Although I think Damavarian favors reabsorption. I think that's what I've seen in play for the most part. But they're going to have the instant CC from Polybomb. Instant CC, point and click instant CC is something that's actually very good against Tracer. They don't really have a good Wombo combo for Leyline, so I don't expect to see that. But the vision control that Medivh is going to provide means the Tracer should not be much of a threat. And the sheer amount of shrine clear that they have going for them should allow them to snowball the objectives. It's going to have to be, TMG is going to have perfect execution in order to get picks during this game.
I honestly don't think that the Medivh pick really has much in mind for the other side. I think it's style points. I think Damavarian and team feel confident enough. They're like, I feel like playing Medivh, man. Okay. Because on paper, there are a lot of reasons to not take Medivh. Power, you go into the portal, you get power slid on, face melted away, Twilight Dream, you get rooted. It's not exactly the best way to do things, but it's like we can play it. We feel like doing it. We'll see. On the left side, we do have Necrodancers. Physicals is playing Greymane. Quantum is on Decker. Damavarian is playing his Medivh. Azariel's on Sonya. And Huff Money will round it out with Johanna.
On the right-hand side of the map, we do have Trademark Gaming, Time on Tracer, Whiskers on Tastar, TMG Doctor on ETC, Show on Malfurion, and KJ Kags on Blaze.
KJ Kags. Gonna hit those jet propulsions. Time will be of the essence, unintended, for this Tracer. Getting a lot of support in the form of Malfurion and Tassadar, so they are positioned to do exactly that. A root is going to zone out the escape. Jet propulsion turns around really quick with the root to follow up. Physicals is going to have to go back to base. First takedown, they're showing that they can do it.
I want to highlight what Time did there. He actually was sitting on the Greymane. He's like, I dare you to dive me. I dare you to dive me. I double dog dare. And then he did. And Time did a triple blink back to his towers, dragging Greymane with him during his dive animation. And that's what made him so overextended and able to get picked off like that.
Time? I don't think this is Time's first time playing Tracer. Keep up. Whiskers is already down bottom. Medivh is a bird. Quantum Physicals. 3-person rotation will force out the dimensional shift. Tassadar is going to go ahead and Autobots transform and roll out towards the bush.
I love this decision. They get that kill, and they eat that kill, and they just split their lanes. They send 2 bottom. They have Johanna anchoring mid. They have 1 hero top. Oh, Varian may be in a little bit of trouble here. Now that he will have forced him to come off the cooldown, and he barely managed to get away. He forced a burn tap, and it's going to go back up into his bird form after eating a potion. Fortunately, you can't heal the bird form. That would be a little overpowered.
Trademark Gaming honestly looking like a whole new team with this composition. Time applying pressure early and often. There's the root, the follow-up. They're going for physicals. The portal is going to be there, though, for the daring, narrow escape. But after the way game 1 went, Kev, I'm really impressed with how Trademark Game is going. They are not dismayed at all.
And it's really important to have that as a team. Even if you lose a game, you have to have mental resilience, come back in the game. And maybe they weren't good at that competition. Maybe they were like, this is a good draft. We practice it a little bit. We don't play it. We're going to see Force will come out on that pulse bomb right there. Physical however is going to get knocked back by VVC, but the portal's there. Gets away. Portal's OP.
The avenue to success so far looks to be target the dog. If you're able to take down Greymane or at least force him out of the team fight, you're able to continue to play up. So much support going in behind the Tracer. So far, she's doing it, man. I'm really curious to see how this first shrine phase is going to go.
And despite all the shenanigans that have been going on, the game is relatively even. We're even on experience. As I say, that Quantum maybe. No, Force of Will comes down. He's going to be absolutely fine. And maybe Force to tap. That's basically it. Physical is doing a lot of damage to Time there, but Time managed to get away by the skin of her cheek.
Now, things are going to change to a degree once level 10 comes around, but what we've seen so far is that Time and this composition is able to put enough pressure to force out the Force of Will outside of the pulse bomb. So later on, once more lockdown comes into effect, once more options are on the table, being able to force the Force of Will out outside of Heroes, that could be huge in team fights.
That's sort of the benefit of Tracer. We think of Tracer as a burst hero in a lot of cases. We're going to see a beautiful slide out. JK Gags, jet propulsion onto physicals for the counter swing. Does not manage to get it. But Tracer does a lot of sustained damage if she can stay in. And the Malfurion heals and the Tash shields just allow her to stay in, get people low. And then as the Forcible comes out, there's the Pulse Bomb. But the Z Earl has spin. He's going to be absolutely fine. And TMD Doctor actually is the one that ends up going down.
Greymane hanging out in the back line, taking the damage to ETC, and then the collapse is on. Malfurion finds himself sitting the rest of it out. Also, gonna pave the way for this Frozen Punisher to get snapped up by Necrodancers. Standard amount of values generally to go through the fort wall, but Cav, I think there's potential for a bit more in this instance.
Time actually missed the bomb top there. Could have gotten the counter kill on Soya. Even though they lost the objective, they can keep getting these kills. They can stay even in experience. This is going to be the worst part. Oh, Tassar actually getting on top, not going to get that. So, not only is this going to be the worst part, because Tracer's their only real damage. So, once they lose the Punisher, Tracer has to be there to clear the Punisher. And she was looking for that kill top, which she didn't get. And that meant the Punisher got basically the wall pretty much for free.
You make a really good point. If they lose the Punisher, they respond with question mark. They don't have a whole lot of siege damage. Blaze is gonna get caught out from jet propulsion as much as you want, buddy. But when 4 blue health bars rotate down, you're gonna be deleted for sure.
Beautiful body block by physicals there too, slicing through because it doesn't respect the body block, and then you're on the other side and stuck in that corner.
Level 7 is picked up, so they aren't even talent tiers down a level. The road to level 10 is now on. But do we see Trademark Gaming continue to be aggressive? They got four people here. Power slide goes out, no root available. There's the face melt. Spin the wind, portal, Force of Will. The narrow escape. Well, not so narrow, but the escape.
And Varian has been on point. Most of the pulse bombs that have been thrown out this game, really only 2 exceptions have been Force of Will, negating that value, and of course that baseline sustain, that baseline heal now existing, actually healing the enemy team. It's like, thank you for your particular burst damage. My team needed that health, and I appreciate it enormously. Quicksilver Bullets picked up at level 7 for Greymane, increasing his attack range, and that actually allows him to put a lot more pressure onto the Tracer. The fact that he can get that first attack in whenever Tracer comes anywhere near him is a big advantage in terms of trading damage.
The interesting style of defense necessitated by Trademark Gaming's composition, to me, should inspire some aggressive play by TMG before Heroics come on board. You'll have Blaze, Tassadar, sure, but the Punisher's going to move in with this kind of setup. So with only half a level away to level 10, we've seen a pretty casual approach to things so far.
I think they've just accepted that they're not going to be able to do much. Like, they're pressuring in here. I see the recall come out. Time still pressuring, but I really think that with the late game composition, they should have just waited. They shouldn't even have contested the first Punisher. They're going to try for the invade here. 10 is going to be here momentarily from Trickle Experience. Huff Money's going to get Blessed Shield. If he snaps, lock it, blocks it here. He can go. He chooses not to do so.
That was a pretty dicey moment where level 10 is picked up and Trademark Gaming is a long way from home.
And there's the objective.
Bottom lane affair, brewing up in about 22 seconds. A level and a bit before our keys are available for Trademark Gaming. They'll have to more than likely concede Punisher now. But right now we see Necrodancers just hanging out, acting like they own the whole map.
I love this decision because this camp could have potentially allowed them to do some pressure top. They don't have a lot of siege damage, but if you're clearing the wave and then pressuring over the camp will continue to tank for you as it spawns those dogs. And Tracer, single target damage, kind of her thing. She could have gotten a lot of structure damage in, but without the camp, it's going to be much, much harder to do that. You can see they're still trying. They're even bombing the towers here. They're that desperate for this experience, but they're not going to have a wave here momentarily because of that camp steal.
Doctor and the crew trying to do what they can, but the macro pressure and mechanical prowess of Necrodancers is severely limiting their options. Actually, they're leaving just Sonya onto the objective to clear that out. And I like this decision. With the healthy wave down bottom, they'll be able to take this fort a good bit of it at the very least before the Punisher shows up. So now, Cav, we're talking about a bottom keep wall.
And look at this beautiful link. JK guys actually rejected Fortune in while he knew his team was collapsing from the top. They managed to get 10 because of the self-imposed delay by Necrodancers getting that camp. Tracer ends up going down, go throat. Beautiful play by Physicals there, making that kill happen, and they're going to get the objective, and they're going to be able to push with it as 5.
The throat is gone 4. Now you have the shield from Tassadar, you have Malfurion, ton of sustain, sure. But Greymane burst damage off of any kind of poke is going to be a Tracer without health points. Mortar Punisher looking to rock and roll. Bottom fort taken down, a lot of health left yet. Picked a pick or two here, at least bottom keep wall.
I love the fact that they're just DPSing the sidewall down very, very aggressively. They're waiting for the Punisher to jump, and as soon as it does, they're going to go in with it. And, oh, they actually opt not to. They hold back a little bit. I'm surprised they didn't just go in with that. They have Blessed Shield up. They have so many cooldowns, so much damage available, but they're just like, we're going to get the keep wall. We're going to play slow. This is going to be 13 for us. And are they? Yeah, it looks like they're prepping to back up already.
Yeah, they're going to use the remaining health points on the Mortar Punisher to just secure their escape. Time is going to try to harass. With 13 picked up, I don't know how much you want to keep poking this bear, because they turn around. They don't have Blessed Shield available. If Blessed Shield was up, I don't know how much they want to keep chasing this.
Apparently not enough, so it's going to be 13 to 11. And 13 and a half right there, if they can consistently soak all the lanes from onward.
Nice face smoke's gonna save Tracer, but oh no! Tassadar gets blown up off of the polybomb. Face melt again for the disengage. Doctor's gonna get back towards the middle fort and hug on to that for dear life. 6-1 in takedowns, level 13 to 11. Necrodancers are starting to run away with it.
They are a little bit, and what I was going to say is that they can consistently soak all the lanes in between now and the next objective. They will have 16 when it pops, because they're going to have another situation where it's a talent or disadvantage. And getting yourself in this position where you're always at a talent or disadvantage, and you have to force, is just so disadvantageous, especially for a late game comp, especially for a comp that depends on their scaling to win, which double support Tracer, double tank is late game, it's scaling oriented. They're going to need to force. Oh, and we actually even have Circle of Protection picked up, increasing the cooldown of Force of Will by 2 seconds, but with Arcane Explosion, if any damage is done to a target or multiple targets during that Force of Will, the return damage is devastating.
It's going to make the pulse bomb engagements, the narrow avenue of success, that much more harrowing and dicey for a Trademark Gaming who is struggled finding their way into these team fights. Level 15 to level 12. Next time the objective phase is going to be here, there could be a small amount of time where both teams are on their 13 tier talents. And that could be one of the last shots the Trademark Gaming really has to get back into this game. Uh-oh.
Zariel was in a lot of trouble, but then there was a mid-D.
Power slide, polymorph, perfectly timed, 50 health. Sonya is not going to be able to escape. There's the portal. Cavalierguest jumps back in. There's the root. The Lornado's going to have an impact. Tracer, again, physical, is going to go ahead and dunk on the ranged assassin. A huge condemn from Johanna. Paves away for Johanna, where Blaze gets taken down. Cavalierguest, the chase is on, but the nice force.
Oh, they might actually, no, they don't quite manage. Physicals wanted that kill on the show as well. But 2-for-1 trade, it actually almost advantageous for Team G in a lot of ways, considering how far down in experience they are. They got much more out of that in terms of pure experience value. But it's still not enough to close the gap. They're still a talent tier down. They're still going to be forced to fight for an objective where they don't have a fountain and the enemy team does. And the enemy team already has a significant lead on the objective itself.
The Twilight Dream goes out, as does the Polymorph. Cavalierguest decides to jump back in with the portal. Interesting decision. Still no level 16 talent, but I'm not entirely sure, even in this condition, Trademark Gaming will be able to steal away this Punisher, but they're going to give it the old try. Why not? Time eats a lot of damage. Twilight Dream there for the peel. Force wall goes down. There's the bunker. ETC has the mosh pit available. If he sees a slow clap moment, you know he's going to go for it. Azaro's on the back line applying pressure to show. Kick up the dance routine. There's the mosh pit immediately interrupted by the spear, and it turns into a bloodbath as the cow and the fireman man goes down.
That was the best possible fight Trademark Gaming could have gotten. They had a numbers advantage. They were never going to catch up in talent tiers if they didn't win a fight down talent tiers to begin with. And they still, in a 5v4 down a talent tier, didn't get a kill after the questionable play by Cavalierguest, and then gave up 3 kills despite everything. The mosh pit got instantly interrupted. Such beautiful team fighting. Really beautiful team fighting coming out of Necrodancers.
It invites the question, Cav, if not then, when? I'm not sure what else they could have really done in that situation. There's the root coming in. Lornado also, 2-person root. Blaze has to back away, does not have the bunker available. Dr. Power slides back, the retreat is in. Arcane Punisher doing no short amount of damage thanks to these limbo bars. Top keep goes down. 2 takedowns, I feel, will be all it would take. Necrodancers close this out. How aggressive do they want to play?
It's just a question of, can they secure a pick with the portal? If they can secure a portal pick, and it looks like they can, they get the kill on the Blaze, they get the kill on... Oh, kill potential on the enemy team. Just take it down.
If you've ever wondered why you see Necrodancers see bans from Indeed against them, Exhibit A. Cavalierguest just making plays left, right, and center. Physicals, gray main. Tracer had a target on her back anytime she was alive. Like that was... And as impressive as Physical's hero damage was, he was actually outmatched by Medivh. By about 500 damage, but outmatched nonetheless. Tracer did 49,000 hero damage. It just was not enough.
Man, that last fight was not the last fight, but the second to last fight. The fight over the shrine was so intense, and Trademark Gaming recognized that was their only chance to come back in the game. They stepped up. They were so aggressive, but the patience by Sonya, the patience by Health Money, making sure they had those interrupts for Mosh Pit on the moment it went down, the focusing of the damage on the important targets, forcing the bunker, everything about that fight was so clean. Mm-hmm. And it's very exciting that these are, this team's going to go in the top 4 tomorrow, and we're going to see more of them against Wrong Orc, which is the #1 team from last week.
For context, Kev, we're talking about a game where Trademark loses a 2-for-1 trade in the top lane as a bruiser camp chips down their top fort and you're like, it could have gone worse. That wasn't that bad for them. That's how dominant we just saw Necrodancers perform on that map. They're a scary team. Once I saw who was loading into this, I didn't know what the roster was before I saw the team name first. I didn't know who was on the team. And I gotta say, I'm really impressed by Huff Money. The main tank in me really appreciates anytime we see some really solid Joanna play. We see some solid peels. Set up a lot for his team, and the team was more than ready to go off of what he was doing.
They were, and that's just a sign of good comms on a team, which I think people don't understand, that a lot of these coordinated things that you see are the result of hours of practice, but they're also the result of really good communications, really clean. You know, if this happens, I'm going to do this, or I'm doing this, and then everyone's always ready to follow up. Everyone's communicating and paying attention. It's very difficult to play at this level, in this level of coordination, because you have to be constantly talking, but also constantly listening. You have a lot of game awareness, and then you still have to be like playing your hero at the same time. It's not like that's all you're focusing on. So very impressive, and I'm definitely going to be watching tomorrow night on the main channel to see how Necrodancers do against Wrong Orc.
Tomorrow night is going to be very exciting indeed. Just 4 teams remain in the cup of the Open Division for North America and Europe. Be sure to check out both sets of action on the Blizz Heroes channel. But for now, that's going to be it. My name is Halorin. Always good to cast you, Cavalier guest. But for now, that's going to be it for the evening. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.